road to success is brought to you by Equity Bank.
Equity Bank. You are listening, caring partner.
This week, our expert is Godfrey Geshoke of Enterprise Development Associates. Karibu sana.
Asante, Catherine.
Godfrey, in this very competitive world, really, what should we consider when it comes to designing a business model around competition?
There are a number of things that we need to consider when you're designing our business and refining the business model to ensure that we remain competitive and we actually take advantage of the market. So a couple of areas, and I think on top of my mind is that we need to think about the revenue. We need to look at a sustainable revenue model. But of course, that is also driven by the market space that you select for your business. So, and the starting point, of course, is determining the demand. Whatever product or services that you want to take to the market, there must be a sustainable, sufficient demand for your product or services. Okay. And then which then you price competitively. And then, of course, you have to keep on refining your market space by looking at who are consuming your product or who is the target consumer, who are the target consumers for your products or services. So that needs to become very clear. This is the target market. These are my goods or services, and this is my pricing model. That needs to be very well aligned. When that is in place, then you have a sustainable business model.
Let's take Tausi, for example. He's got this very special, unique product.
Yes.
What would be his competitive edge when it comes to his business model?
First of all, I like his business model. I like the product and the way he's chosen it. And I can imagine that he's targeting upper middle class people who would have the time and the space and the money, who would be oriented towards that kind of lifestyle where bird watching or just interest in birds, in having them book, keeping them, and also maybe the learning around it. So that's a very unique market space. So what would make his model really sustainable is making sure he's very, very clear about that market space, the people he's targeting, the consumer. Study that consumer and understand them very well. Their needs, their attitude, what they're looking for, what kind of people they are, what things really make them excited. And it's a very unique market space. Actually, it's really hardly served. There's a lot he can do to make sure that he dominates that market space.
Is it possible to create demand or create a need in Kenya for that kind of service that he's offering, all those kind of products that he's offering, the birds that he's offering? Is it possible?
Really, you don't create a need as such. You actually find out who needs. Of course, there are those sort of consumers we call wannabes, people who would want to keep a bird because they probably it's not for them, but they are interested. But there are those who are really hardcore, the very epicenter of your consumers.
One of the people he targets are school-going children.
Yes.
He wants to create an interest.
Yes. Once you decide that this is the category, this is the market space I want to play in, you have to think about how to grow that market, all right? And the way to grow a market is to actually look at people who can become future consumers. Targeting children is a fantastic idea. I think you need to look at how do I ensure that in the future there will be other consumers of my product. Every time you're thinking about the purchasing experience, you know that there are several people that influence that decision. And children are major influencers. In fact, I think that's a very good idea because the children are the ones who say, I want the bird.
Yeah.
Once they say they want the bad, then parents have no alternative than to bring in the bad.
So Tausi should be the go-to place when it comes to birds.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what makes you competitive.
Godfrey, thank you so much.
Most
It's important to know that we have opportunities really to be competitive
Yes.
in anything that we do. We can be leaders. It doesn't matter who was there before us.
Yeah.
We can actually overtake the people who were there before.
And if you find a market which already has a market leader, you can probably either slice the market, create a subcategory, which then you become a market leader, or dethrone the market leader. Yes.
Thank you so much, Godfrey. We
Most
do
welcome.
appreciate
Thank
it,
you,
Godfrey.
Catherine. Yes.
Thank you for watching Road to Success, the key to your next level in business. Do have a blessed week.